Hey everybody, it's Andrew back again, and what you see here obviously is the Lenovo Yoga Slim 9i, the Gen 10, brand new for 2025. I did my first look at this a few weeks back. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. What stands out to this, of course, is this OLED display. It's a 4K plus or UHD plus 3840 by 2400 display, 120 hertz refresh rate. Simply stunning, 98% screen to body ratio, but that's the good things about it. There are some bad things about it. Lack of ports. Under display camera, not so great. Yes, I like the idea that you can get slim bezels, but the execution, not great in terms of the quality of the camera, in terms of what you're going to use it for. So that is a drawback. And it has this beautiful glass exterior, but it is very hard to keep clean. When it is clean, it is stunning, but when it is dirty, it just smudges up quite a bit. I'll have my full review on this in the next few days, so stay tuned. This one is very good, although it's expensive, as we'll get to in a moment, where there's a good alternative, but this is very, very expensive. So we'll look at that in a couple of days. Now, this one here is its sibling. This is the Slim 7i Aura Edition. So this, of course, will come in a lot cheaper from Lenovo, and sub 1,000 it will start, and I think it's about $1,100 as configured here, something around there. I'll leave the latest pricing in the link below, but this one is really good. It's got an all-metal design. It's also got an OLED display, but this one is a full HD plus, 1920 by 1200, and it is a really nice display. One thing that there is a difference between the two, this one is 120 hertz, this is 60 hertz. So that's the one downside. Of course, you're paying a whole lot less for this, but as it goes with an OLED Full HD Plus display, it is quite good. Now, they're both glossy displays, as you see here. So just keep that in mind. Depending on your lighting conditions, you'll notice some glare and reflections. The screens go back 180 degrees. On this one does not. So that's one difference. You can see this is as far back as this goes. This goes back almost 180 degrees. Not quite, but almost there. So it has the familiar smile-shaped keys, maybe a little bit more key travel, smidge maybe, than this one, although both keyboards are excellent. They both have a glass touchpad, although this one seems a little bit bigger. They're not haptic or anything like that, and they both have very good speakers, both of them. So you're going to do well in sound, as I'll show you in a little bit. But there are some key differences. This has a lack of ports. This doesn't. This has nice port selection, and this one also has excellent performance. They're both running the Lunar Lake processor, the Core Ultra 7 258V, 32 gigabytes of RAM, I believe in both, yes. And then, of course, Intel Arc 140V, which has been great. We're going to get into why I think this is the better buy over its more expensive, bigger or smaller sibling, if you want to call it that, because of the screen size, you know, the bezels and so forth. But this is definitely a better value, better bang for your buck. We'll get into why and more in this review. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is the Lenovo Slim 7i Aura Edition, brand new for 2025, coming up. Okay, so right off the bat, we're going to talk about the size and weight, design, build, all that stuff. Here, this is pretty thin. It's pretty light. Now, this one comes in a little bit lighter than this one, of course, but this one is certainly more, portable as well. So that is really good. Very little give or flex in the chassis. It's not going to have this glass design like you get on this one, but this definitely is a premium design in its own right. A good mid-tier build here. It's very good, very good. Let's talk about the ports here. On the left side, you get an HDMI and you get two Thunderbolt 4 ports. Those are full function, and of course you get a micro SD card reader, something you don't get on this one. And then on the right side you get your kill switch for the webcam, a power button, which sometimes you can accidentally hit, so that's not a great placement. And then you have your headphone jack and a USB-A port. So ports are a lot better on this bad boy than on this one, of course. This only has the two Thunderbolt 4 ports, and that's pretty much it, right? So you get the kill switch for the webcam on this one and the power button, but that's it. No micro SD card reader, no USB-A, and of course, this is a much better situation. Now, one thing I will say, I'd like to split up those Thunderbolt 4 ports, one on each side. You're not able to do that on this, but that is, of course, something we deal with on a lot of laptops nowadays. Sometimes we get them. We saw with that HP EliteBook that I looked at, the G1A, where they split them up. So that is more convenient as far as I'm concerned. All right, let's talk about the display here. 1920 by 1200. This, of course, is not going to be quite as good as that one. That's a 4K, 120 hertz. This one's 60 hertz, so it's not going to be quite as smooth or as fluid, but it's definitely a good display. It gets bright. It's got some really good color accuracy. It's very good in terms of the coverage of the color gamut. So even for this, if you're going to do content creation, it is very good. It is an OLED display, so you get the deep blacks, the super vibrant colors, the high contrast. You're just not going to get it as quite as high resolution as this one. And of course, this one has the variable refresh rate and all that stuff that you'd want. But again, 120 hertz is a lot nicer. Both are touchscreen displays, as this is this full HD plus, but it's not, of course, the high refresh rate. Now, OLED, with any OLED, including this one and this one, you'll have the screen flickering or PWM to contend with. So if you are sensitive to that, be careful, be aware of that. It wasn't too bad on this. I think it's below 30% on both of these. And then you also have to deal with something called screen burn-in that might be a potential issue down the road, although it is minimal in terms of that because they put some stuff in, screensavers and stuff like that to help save the display. So that certainly minimizes that chance. But as far as the display itself, consuming media, watching Netflix, Amazon, YouTube on this has been very good. I have no complaints in that regard. And then, of course, again, content creation will be fine. Lightroom, Photoshop, video editing, DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro. Both of these are very good. Again, running the same processor. Let's talk performance on both of these because we'll just compare them both right now. This one is the Intel Core Ultra 7 258V, same one with this, 32 gigabytes of memory, which is, of course, the fast memory, 8533 mega transfers per second. It is integrated on the chip with Lunar Lake on both of these. So it's the fast RAM, but it's capped out at 32 gigabytes. That's the most you can get on this. So just be aware of that. But for the price, getting 32 gigabytes at about $1,100 as configured here, I think that's a pretty decent price. This one, of course, over $1,800, much more expensive. So again, more bang for the buck on the Slim 7i. Now, as far as the graphics, the Intel Arc 140V graphics are impressive. Both of them show excellent numbers when it comes to the Time Spy, Firestrike, and of course, the Wildlife Extreme test. And you can do some very good video editing on this in terms of 1080p, light 4K on both of them. Again, impressive integrated graphics here. Lunar Lake has done a good job there with those Arc graphics. So very good at the 140V on this. And gaming, of course, is possible. Just play with some of the settings, lower some of the settings. You can get playable frame rates on some of the more popular titles. You can add an external GPU. This has 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, so just keep that in mind. So that has been very good. So when it comes to efficiency, both run pretty cool and quiet. In fact, they're very quiet, even under heavy load. Both of them have done a good job in that regard. As far as the fan noise, not much of an issue. It doesn't get overly hot in terms of the surface temperatures, so you can use this on your lap without any issue. So one of the things we're seeing in general with Lunar Lake is more efficiency and, of course, good cooling solution employed here. Nice job. Now, I didn't notice much thermal throttling. In fact, it did very well on the Time Spy stress test. It either got close, or I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll show you on the screen now. But again, minimal thermal throttling under load. So they did a good job in that regard. Let's talk about battery life. And there is a stark difference between the two, and for one good reason. First of all, this one has the lower res display, Full HD Plus versus 4K. So this did fantastic on the PC Mark X Modern Office test, 23 plus hours. It did incredibly well on the video playback on that PC Mark X video playback test. Over 27 hours, 27 and a half hours plus, which is incredible. Probably the best we've seen so far. It keeps getting better with Lunar Lake, right? Unfortunately, it might be a one-off in terms of the chip. We'll find out hopefully down the road. And then, of course, this one, since it has a higher res display, higher refresh rate, you're not going to do quite as well. Although for the fact that it does have such a high quality, high res display with a high refresh rate, it did really well in the test. You know, again, showing that Lunar Lake is a very efficient chipset. So both did really good. Both come with a fast charge adapter in the box. So those charge well, very fast. So no problem in that regard. So excellent in terms of battery life, especially on this Slim 7i. This is a battery beast. There is no doubt about it. Now, as far as the camera, now this has a 5 megapixel camera on here. It's got a really nice resolution. I thought it did a good job in terms of the video quality and the audio quality. This one has a 32 megapixel smartphone camera, but it's under the display. And as I showed you in that video I did on this, it is not very good. So that is the downside of going with that technology. It has a ways to go, but I like the direction they're going in. And just have to do a better job in getting more clarity. It's a difficult feat to accomplish with this because it is under the display, but the result is you're getting a 98% screen to body ratio. The ratio is not going to be quite as good as here because you have that little lip over here or the reverse notch. And that, of course, houses the camera, and the camera is quite good. Let's give it a look and a listen, and you let me know what you think in the comments section below. So this is the camera on the Lenovo Slim 7i Aura Edition, the 14-inch version here for 2025. This is a 5 megapixel IR camera. That means you can log in with face recognition with Windows Hello. There is a kill switch for those that need more security and privacy. It's all located on the right side of the unit. And what do you think about the video quality? What do you think about the audio quality? You have all the studio effects here. It is an AI PC or Copilot Plus PC. Again, let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. Now, one area where these both shine is audio, right? So these both have Dolby Atmos. That's going to help with the spatial audio. Both get loud. I think this one sounds a little bit better, but of course, you be the judge. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. But this is quite good, especially for the price. Really good speakers on this. But again, let's give it a listen, and you let me know what you think in the comment section below.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. Hold me close till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left.
All right, let's talk keyboards here. So both have very similar smile-shaped keys we've come to know and love with Lenovo. Very good tactility, key travel. Both of them are great for typing out documents, emails, and the like. This has a larger touchpad on this one, and this one definitely was good for scrolling as well as this one. So doing all your gestures, both did a good job. They're both precision touchpads. They're not haptic or anything like that, so just keep that in mind. But as far as the keyboard and the touchpad on both, they did a good job. They both have a nice backlight so you can get work done in a dark room, dimly lit environment. This is the title teal, and the keys are the title teal. This is the gray. And again, I had no trouble seeing the contrast with the white LED backlight. So pretty good in that regard. Both have upgradable storage, by the way, so that is one good news in terms of upgrading storage if your storage change needs and so forth. And as you can see, reads and writes on both of them are certainly good enough for what you need to do on these laptops. So nice having good upgradability. Both have Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4, so that has been very good as well. Now, as you can see, there is a dedicated row that you don't get on the 14-inch Slim 7i 14 Aura that you get on the Yoga 9i or the Slim 9i. And this has the dedicated row here that you don't get on this one. So let me know what you think about that layout in the comment section below. But what it does is it moves the keyboard a little bit off center than this one, of course. And then, of course, this one has room for speaker grills. This one does not. So a different design choice, a different kind of keyboard when we're looking at the layout here. And here we have the Slim 7i Aura Edition 14-inch with its bigger sibling, the Slim 7i 15-inch, also Aura Edition, 15.3 inches versus the 14-inch. We also have the Slim 7X that we looked at. That, of course, is running the Snapdragon. But this, of course, is a bigger version of this one. Now, there are some key differences. This is 120 hertz. This is 60 hertz. This is OLED. This is IPS. So that's a big difference right there. So if you don't want the OLED or worry about screen burn-in or PWM, then you would go with this one. Also has more screen real estate. I'll leave a link to my review in the description below. I liked it quite a bit. It also got great battery life, great numbers as well. But this one is a little bit smaller in terms of the form factor. And again, it has an OLED display. Again, if you want the high refresh rate, look at that one. Now, to give you an idea of the size difference between the 14 and that 15.3-inch one, there it is. You can see it has a smaller footprint. On the right side, there are some key differences between the ports that are used there. And here you can see the left side is a difference in terms of the port selection. And here it is next to the Lenovo Slim 7X, the Yoga Slim 7X, which of course is running the Snapdragon. That's a 14.5 inch. And as you can see, it's a little bit wider than this one, of course. And then here you can see the port selection on this side with the 14-inch display. So there you can see, very different in terms of the ports. And of course, the displays are going to be different here as well. This has a 60 hertz refresh rate. This has a 90 hertz refresh rate. Also split ports, USB-C ports, not the case with this. So interesting. Now, display-wise, there is another difference here. This one is 2944 by 1840, 90 hertz refresh rate. This one is 1920 by 1200, 60 hertz refresh rate. So overall, what do I think about the Lenovo Slim 7i Aura Edition here for 2025? I gotta say, this is the better bang for the buck over the Yoga Slim 9i Gen 10, which we have here. This one will definitely give you more for your money, right? So this will start slightly under $1,000, and I'm sure at some point they'll go on sale. So as we're seeing very expensive laptops right now, this is certainly a really good bang for the buck. And one of the reasons I wanted to feature this one here today, because I think this gives you a lot for your money. You're getting a good processor here, definitely good for your everyday needs. You get really great battery life and phenomenal battery life on this. You get a really nice display. Yes, it's not the 120 hertz. Yes, it's not the 4K like this one, but it is certainly a very good OLED display in its own right. And again, you're paying a whole lot less for this. So, you know, it's I keep harping on that, but that's a big deal nowadays when all the laptops are so super expensive. You're getting great sound out of the speakers. You're getting a better port selection on this. And I can't find too much fault in this. It really, you know, maybe to split up those Thunderbolt 4 ports. But again, that's, you know, first world problem, especially when this one only has two USB Type-C Thunderbolt 4 ports, and that's it. This has the headphone jack. This has the USB-A micro SD card. So I think it's a clear winner. Overall takeaway to me, this is the definite choice if you need to make a choice between the two. This is a better bargain coming in at a lot less money, and you get virtually pretty much all you need out of a laptop, and you won't get quite as good a display as I mentioned, but you will get everything else and then some, especially incredible battery life on this. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comments section below. Now we're just about ready to hit that 200,000, and I don't know when I release this if I've already hit the 200,000 subscriber mark. So if I did, I want to thank everybody, but it's imminent. So I want to thank you anyway for the tremendous support, the great views I've been getting lately. Again, I guess you like this new format that I've been doing here in this space. So just let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you're a casual viewer of my channel, why not hit that subscribe button? It doesn't cost anything, and it certainly helps support the channel. And I just want to thank everybody again from the bottom of my heart. So until next time, this is Andrew, and I'll see you in the next video.